Hi, welcome back to Choice Art Studio. I'm Mrs. Wyman. Today, we're going to be opening up the painting studio. People have been painting for thousands of years. They started out painting inside of caves. They painted things they would see and do in their everyday life, like hunting animals. Paintings can be realistic, like this painting by Caravaggio. Before cameras were invented, people would try to paint things exactly as they saw them. Paintings can be abstract. Eventually, artists began to include their feelings and thoughts into their paintings, like this one by Vincent Van Gogh. Van Gogh once said, "The only time I feel alive is when I'm painting." I think I can tell what Van Gogh is feeling when I look at his art. How do you think he was feeling when he painted this one? Paintings can be non-objective, which means they don't look like anything at all, but can express a feeling or be experimental. And people are still painting their everyday life, just like the cave painters did so long ago. I wonder what kind of paintings you are going to make this year. First thing you need to get is a tray, a set of watercolor paints, a bowl of water, one paintbrush, and a paper towel. Once your tray is set up, you are ready to paint. So let's meet Percy the paintbrush.
Hi, I'm Percy the paintbrush. I'm so excited to finally meet you. There are a few things you need to know before we can paint beautiful sunsets together. Actually, there's really only one rule. One really important rule. Don't mess up my hair. I take my hair very seriously. I like my hair to be neat and standing up like this. I do not like my hair to be messy like this. To keep my hair nice, you just follow these simple steps. When you put paint on my brush, just stroke the brush over the paint. Never jam or twist me in the paint like this. When you paint with me, hold the brush like this. Don't push the brush or smash the brush like this. Always make sure I am standing up in the cup so everyone can see my awesome hairdo. Well, that's about it. If you treat me well, I will last a long time and we can create lots of great art together.
So open up your book to the page that says painting and has the palette with 2 brushes on it. We are going to be learning or reviewing all these skills today. Let's start with number 1. I can put my name on my work and you won't forget at the end. Number 2, I can set my area up for painting. Number 3, I can use watercolor paint. One thing to remember, if they're not wet yet, they won't paint. So you need to wake the color up by getting a little water on your brush and lightly going over, painting your color. This wakes the color up, and then it's ready to paint. Number 5, I can mix 2 primary colors to create a secondary color. So here you have some reminders of what colors to do. So this is red. So I will go ahead, fill in your circle with red paint. Now, one way you can do this is go ahead and come over here and paint your red in. Go because we're adding two colors to create a new color. What's the next color going to be? Yellow. And I cleaned my brush. Get some yellow paint. Fill in your yellow circle. And then now we're going to put yellow on top of our red. What color do you think this is going to make? Still looking a little red, so I'm going to go ahead and add a little more. That orange is looking really nice. And you'll just continue doing that for each of your circles to create your new secondary colors. Now let's talk about cleaning your brush before changing colors. If I just wiggle the brush in the water, that does not get the paint out. You can see they're still yellow. So I have to brush the bottom of the bowl with my bristles, and that will get all of the paint out. Now I'm ready to start on my own picture. And I'm just going to show you a few things to help you with your idea. If you want to make thin lines, you can just barely touch the paper. That makes thin lines. But if you press a little harder, that can make a thick line for you. Notice how I'm pulling my brush. I'm not pushing or dragging my brush. When I think about what it is I want to make a picture of, there's a couple different ways to start. You could draw with your brush by creating an outline, or you could do something we call the Blob Method, where you create your shapes from the inside out. One thing to be careful of is not getting too much water on your brush. So if I notice that the water is too drippy, I can tap my brush onto the paper towel to get some of that extra water off. We have two more skills to check off. I can put my painting on the drying rack, and I can clean up my area. I think we have just opened up the painting studio.